Michael Jackson, also known as the King of Pop, was born on 1958 in Gary, Indiana, was an American singer, songwriter, and dancer who became one of the most famous people in the world thanks to his pop songs and amazing voice. He was the eighth child out of 10, 6 brothers, 3 sisters, and a half-sister. Since he was world famous from such a young age, Jackson and his siblings were allegedly physically and emotionally abused by their father, Joseph Jackson, through constant rehearsals, whippings, and cruel name-calling. Jackson's abuse as a child had affected him throughout his whole life. The first time Michael spoke about his abuse openly was in an interview with Oprah Winfrey. He said that he had missed out on so much of his childhood, admitting to the public that he often cried from loneliness. In the same interview, speaking of his father, Jackson said, "There were times when he'd come to see me, I'd get sick. I'd start to regurgitate. I'm sorry. Please don't be mad at me, but I do love him." During that interview, Jackson later cried while talking about his childhood trauma. In another interview, Living with Michael Jackson, he said that his father sat in a chair as the group rehearsed, saying, he had this belt in his hand. If you didn't do it the right way, he would tear you up, really get you. It was bad. Real bad. When Jackson received his Living Legend Award, presented to him by Janet Jackson at the 1993 Grammys, he said, "I don't read all the things written about me. I wasn't aware the world thought I was so weird and bizarre. But when you grow up like I did in front of 100 million people since the age of 5, you're automatically different. My childhood was completely taken away from me. There was no Christmas, no birthdays. It was not a normal childhood, no normal pleasures of childhood. Those were exchanged for hard work, struggle and pain, and eventual material and professional success." In January 1970, the song, "I Want You Back," became the very first Jackson 5 song to reach #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. It stayed there for 4 weeks. 3 more singles with Motown topped the chart. The songs were ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. In May of 1971, the Jackson family moved into a large house at Havenhurst, a 2-acre estate in Encino, California. During this time period, Michael developed from a child performer into a teen idol. Between 1972 and 1975, he released 4 solo studio albums with Motown. They were Got to Be There, 1972, Ben, 1972, Music and Me, 1973, and Forever, Michael, 1975. Got to Be There and Ben were the title tracks from his first 2 solo albums, sold well as singles, as did a cover of Bobby Day's Rockin' Robin. The Jackson 5 left Motown in 1975 after they signed with Epic Records and renaming themselves as the Jacksons. Their youngest brother, Randy, joined the band around this time. Jermaine, one of the brothers, stayed with Motown and pursued a solo career. The Jacksons continued to tour internationally and released 6 more albums between 1976 and 1984. Michael, the group's main songwriter during this time, wrote songs such as Shake Your Body, Down to the Ground, 1978, This Place Hotel, 1980, and Can You Feel It, 1980. Michael Jackson had 3 kids, Prince Jackson, Paris Jackson, and B.G. Jackson. Prince Jackson ID, now an actor, music video producer, and TV personality. Paris Jackson is an actress, model, singer, songwriter, activist, and TV personality. B.G. Jackson is a producer and director. On June 25, 2009, with all concerts sold out, Michael Jackson died from cardiac arrest, caused by a propofol and benzodiazepine overdose. Conrad Murray, his personal physician, had given Jackson various medications to help him sleep at his rented mansion in Holmby Hills, Los Angeles. The paramedics received a 911 call at 12:22 p.m. Pacific Time, 1922 Universal Time Coordinated, and arrived 3 minutes later. Michael Jackson was not breathing and CPR was performed. Resuscitation efforts continued on the way to UCLA Medical Center, and for more than an hour after Jackson's arrival there, but were unsuccessful, and Jackson was pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. Pacific Time. The news of his death spread incredibly quickly online. So many people were researching what happened that it ended up causing websites to slow down and crash from user overload. And it put unprecedented strain on many services and websites, including Google, AOL Instant Messenger, Twitter, and Wikipedia. Overall, web traffic rose by between 11% and 20%. MTV and BET aired marathons of Jackson's music videos, and Jackson's specials aired on television stations around the world in honor of him. MTV briefly returned to its original music video format, and they aired hours of Jackson's music videos, with live news specials featuring reactions from MTV personalities and other celebrities.